I'm here again with Dr. Nario. Dr. Nario is with Biointegrative Health Center in Reno, Nevada. Check them out online. They do great treatments. And so thanks for being here, Doctor.
Thanks for having me, Steve. Always a pleasure.
Okay, so we've been having some questions about CoQ10. So I wanted to, we've got some videos on that, but I wanted to just kind of revisit CoQ10 because it's something that is used a lot by a lot of people, mostly for heart stuff. So I wanted to ask you about 4 simple benefits or 4 benefits of CoQ10. So what would be the first benefit that you would talk about as far as CoQ10?
Well, Steve, CoQ10 is very, very important in our system. Just to give a refresher for everybody, ATP is actually formed in our mitochondria, which is the powerhouse or factories of our cells, to create or supply energy for the cell. And we have almost like 5,000 mitochondria. Just a guesstimate. It's not really exact, but we have a lot. And the thing here is we need to make sure that for our daily needs, our daily activities, we have enough ATP, because every organ in our body uses it for pumping that heart, for actually moving those muscles, and creation of proteins and other molecules. So CoQ10, again, has 2 forms. And it's going to be the reduced one, which is ubiquinol, and also the oxidized one is ubiquinone. And there's so many things. And maybe I can put this in context in my clinical practice and where I use it. So number 1, I use it a lot for people who has cardiovascular conditions, such as people who had a heart attack, congestive heart failure, atrial fibrillation, even high blood pressure, cholesterol issues. For the reason that there is actually a lack of CoQ10 in these conditions, because you know why that cardiovascular system failed, because we're doing something to it. Is it inflammation? Are these heavy metals that we take in, the toxins that we put in our system? That's why it's just understood when you have a cardiovascular condition like the heart that's failing, give more ATP to that, then you will actually get maximum effect for that cardiovascular system, again, to revive it. So that's my number 1 usual use for CoQ10, any heart condition.
Okay, so I have a quick question on your number 1 reason to take it. How do you know which type of CoQ10 you actually have? Does it say it on the bottle, or? I mean, whatever brand you're taking, does it usually say it, or is that how you would know which type you're taking?
Well, yeah, most of the time the ones available would be the ubiquinone, and again, this is the one that's being backed up by so many studies out there.
Okay.
Even a dose of 100 to 200 milligrams, that's something that people can benefit from. And the thing here is, if I suggest something different, most of the time that something different is more expensive. And the one that I prefer, as I always tell patients, the more expensive the supplement, the higher the quality. So I recommend a specific brand, which I myself use, which I like, which is ubiquinol, the other one, which is also good in terms of especially absorption. That has a better absorption to it, but this specific one I'm pertaining to, not the other one. It actually is being backed up by studies in relation to a more powerful effect on your cardiovascular system. But in general, the one that you're going to get in the market is ubiquinone. I'm not saying that's bad. That is still okay. But if patients prefer, or if they have a way more severe condition, the cardiovascular system, I would suggest the higher brand.
Okay. So what's a number 2 reason?
Number 2. All right, number 2. It's not far from our first reason. Number 2 would be people who actually are using medications. Majority, there's like 70% out in the population who is probably using a prescription medicine. The most common one would be a statin. statin. It's understood that whenever you use a statin, it depletes CoQ10. That's why whenever I have somebody on a cholesterol medicine, it's always a pair because you use statin depletes your personal CoQ10. So that's why I replace it with either an oral maintenance dose or we give it here in the clinic through IV or even injection. Mostly commonly injection. But again, that's just tit for tat. And also other like metformin, if you're taking something for your blood sugar control, that's also part of that.
Okay. That's an interesting reason that a lot of people wouldn't even think about, to
Mhm.
replenish something that a statin or some other medication is depleting. So how
Mhm.
about number 3? Give me a third benefit.
Number three, the best one really is for generalized fatigue. Everybody who's experiencing a low energy, it's also equivalent to not creating enough ATP from the mitochondria. So there might be some underlying process for that. So that's a whole discussion by itself. But when you're lacking energy, maybe thyroid, maybe your hormones, maybe your cortisol, you won't go wrong by putting ATP in there, but through CoQ10. And if this applies also to fatigue athletes. Anybody who's working out so much, overusing that mitochondria, boom, giving CoQ10, definitely not bad, but definitely boosting their protocols for just a healthier self.
Hmm. Okay, so one more, a fourth benefit of
Mm.
CoQ10. We're not saying this is all of them, but you kind of picked your top 4 that kind of stand out. So what would be a fourth benefit of CoQ10?
So the fourth benefit is just overall. I just even for healthy people, it's a potent antioxidant, it's a potent anti-inflammatory, it's a potent anti-aging remedy, and also again, I this is not the only thing that I use for such characteristics that I just mentioned. It's always in combination. So for example, let me give you an athlete or like you're a healthy dude. I would suggest CoQ10 for you, but with other things as well, like D-ribose. So that's gonna L-carnitine to burn more fat, even magnesium. So these are the 4 combinations that I give with CoQ10 to maximize energy depletion and to restore it again to where it was, and just in general, just a healthy type of supplement to take as part of everybody's protocol.
Okay, well, thank you, doctor. That's Dr. Nario, Biointegrative Health Center. And CoQ10 is one that you might want to do a little more research on. It's one of those things that has a lot of benefits, and I look forward to, we're going to do another interview with Dr. Nario, which we've also done with many of our personal trainers in multiple health clubs that we're involved with. And that is, we're going to do the same one with Dr. Nario. If you could only take 5 supplements, what would they be? And then,
Uh,
of course, we'll give them the 3 bonus. So that one hopefully will come out in a week or so. And also, if you guys have questions or suggestions, or you want to know benefits of a certain vitamin or supplement, put it in the comment section. We'll get to it, and we'll have one of our doctors answer those questions, and on what their opinion is about a certain supplement or treatment or IV or whatever. So put those questions in there. We love to hear them, and we'll get back to you on those. So thank you, Dr. Nario, Biointegrative Health Center in Reno, Nevada. And we can't wait to hear about what your 5 supplements are that you take. So thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Steve, for having me. I know that's going to be a toughie, so I have to like look through my closet of supplements for my favorite ones. But again, as we all know, knowledge is power, and thank you for letting me provide you with the edge in longevity and health maintenance, which I call the biological edge or the bio edge.